Welcome to Bunny Hugs and Mental Health, the podcast that deals with all things mental health. We talk to professionals, survivors, and loved ones about their sometimes informative, sometimes uplifting, and sometimes tragic stories. I'm your host of the show, Todd Rennebaum, advocate, recovering addict, experienced sufferer of depression and anxiety, and author of the children's book, Sometimes Daddy Cries. Hello and welcome to another episode of Bunny Hugs and Mental Health. I am Todd Rennebaum. Hey, thanks for listening. Thanks for all your comments and questions as always. This is a quick one. Well, not really. It's a little long one, but here's one from Jacqueline. She was making a comment on the episode with Daniela, part 1 and 2. That was last week's and the weeks before's episode. Jacqueline says, our lived experiences often contribute to who we become as well as how we move forward. For example, there is possible connection based on her shared story and her career. I can totally see her value for communications, being reflective, and need to be expressive, as these areas were lacking in her life from her father. However, it was her positive spirit and enabling attitude to take these things that she lacked into things that she valued and turn them into positive, influential skills. She is an incredible storyteller and has found a way to use her lived experience to capture her audience's respect and trust over the years when following her journalism journey. She does this through reflective and expressive communication techniques that make her one of a kind. In the podcast interview, it was very easy to empathize and become reflective. Daniela's lived experience has evolved to now provide enabling outcomes through her candid voice. Thank you for being you, Daniela. ... Thank you, Jacqueline, for the wonderful comment. And thank you, Daniela, again for telling your story. Next week, I am actually speaking with someone from New York, and she goes by Schizophrenic NYC on Instagram. She also designs clothes for mental health kind of slogans on them, and she's a graphic designer and stuff. And from her title, her name is Michelle, and she lives with schizophrenia. So I talked to her about that, and that will be next week's episode. This week, however, I am speaking with Paul Fluffy Sinclair, better known as just Fluffy. He is a gay Australian farmer who just loves cussing, so beware. There's a lot of cussing in this episode, and it's contagious. I mean, I swear once in a while, but listening back when I was editing, I found that I was swearing a lot more than I normally do because it's just so contagious. So anyway, Fluffy, he suffers from workplace bullying, and he's a TikTok star. He's got 250,000 followers, and I don't know, his friend figures over 700 million views of his videos. One of his videos, he really kind of made it big by talking openly about his mental health issues he's going through right now. So I talked to him about that. If you have never heard of him, I suggest you go to TikTok, follow him, Paul Fluffy Sinclair, and just start following him and loving and liking his videos, because he really is a really great guy, really sincere, funny man. So do that. He's also got merchandise for sale, so you can also go and buy that. But without further ado, I give you Fluffy.
First TikTok I posted was in September last year, and it was I sort of hadn't worked out the formula. I was just at the local spillway at Lake Nillacoody up the road here, and then I posted a couple of little short piano things, and
right.
Then I had an issue with my teeth. I ended up with a blood infection, and I apparently have had it for like many years, like a couple of decades. And
couple dickheads?
I get my decades, like
I know.
20 years.
Sorry, I was just being a smart ass.
Oh, you fucking Canadians, you.
Couple decades. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, and I had to get my teeth out. It turned out my bottom gum, I've always had bad gums. I'm genetically fucked, I suppose. So it turns out that my bottom teeth were infecting my bottom jawbone, and the jawbone was causing a inflammation of some blood cells, which all pooled at the bottom of my, like below my knees. And I was at a friend's house at Christmas time, or actually the week before Christmas, and sitting around their swimming pool, having a barbecue, and just got eaten by mosquitoes. Do you have mosquitoes over there in Canada?
Oh, God, do we ever? Especially in this province. Yeah.
Fucking things. Anyway, I just got absolutely ravaged. I had repellent on. That didn't seem to help. Anyway, a week later, all the mosquito bites healed except for below my knees. And they got worse and worse and worse. And anyway, it turned out that I had this big, long fucking word with vasculitis at the end of it. And, so all the infected blood cells had no red platelets in them or something, and they all pooled below my knees, and the mosquito bites didn't heal. And I had all these blood tests and x-rays, and it turned out to be my teeth. So it's amazing that I had no pain in my jaw or anything. I just thought that was normal. Anyway, the x-ray showed that my whole bottom jaw's that degraded by infection, which is called osteomyelitis or something. So the teeth had to come out. And then I thought, well, I've got to fucking document this, because once they're gone, they're gone. So that's when I did that first TikTok under the pine tree, when I said I was a cunt when I had teeth, and I'm still a cunt. And that went fucking nuts. And then a couple of days later, the sunflowers, I thought, I better do one on them, because they were sort of they were starting to turn. I thought I'll just do a quick little TikTok on them. And I started that TikTok with like, hey cunts, and then I talked shit about the sunflowers for a minute or something, and then I just I finished with none-night cunts love you. And I've said that farewell for years. I've always just, even when I leave the supermarket and I here in Mansfield, I say no, I don't say cunts, but I say no, I love you. And so those two catchphrases, like the opening, hey cunts, and then the closing remark, none I cunts love you, has actually turned into a global brand.
You should make shirts.
Well, I am making shirts, so I'm getting. I fucking should have bought one down. Damn, I didn't bring one. Fucker. So I've just got and you'll see on some of my TikToks anyway. I've got merchandise there with t-shirts and trucker caps and some stickers, and I'm getting some hoodies made. And so I just start every TikTok with hey cunts, and then I just talk shit for 30 seconds, and it doesn't matter what I talk about. And so long as I finish it with none cunts love you, and then a day later there's like 50, 60, 70,000 views. It's crazy.
Yeah, you've got something like 215,000 followers on TikTok. And are you on Instagram and stuff too, or?
Yeah, I am on Instagram, so and Facebook, but I don't really sort of go on them very much. I don't look. Everyone's following me. I don't really go on them that much. Look, someone's just started following me on Instagram, which is Mansfield Worm Farm. That's my little side hustle that I've got going. And then look, I had a workplace issue with bullying and harassment, and I didn't realise it's been going on for fucking years, but I just thought I was tough and would just tell them to fuck off or mind your own fucking business or something. And it just built up and built up and built up, and they finally broke me one day. That was on Monday the 20th of June this year. So what's that, a month ago?
Mm-hmm.
And I actually went missing for 2 days on TikTok. And so I didn't do anything on that Monday. I was pretty numb that day. And then Tuesday I fucking crashed, realised I need to go and get some professional help. Then all these fucking messages, Todd, started to come in from randoms from everywhere. Where are you? Where's Fluffy gone? All these comments on sort of the most recent, because I was doing like 1 or 2 TikToks a day. Mm-hmm. Apparently that's what you got to do to keep the fucking algorithm happy. And so I just went missing, and I thought, how am I going to fucking deal with this? I was in a in a fucking mess. So on the Wednesday, I was down at the park. It was a fucking miserable day here. That was raining and cold and.
Well, it's winter there, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We're in the middle of fucking winter. It doesn't look like it here, but it's only about. I've got my little dog here now. Versace, come here, darling. Well, fucking don't then. She's sitting over there under the tree.
You got whippets, right?
Yeah. I've got 3 of them, little fucking things. Love them.
Hey, I got. Where are they? Ah, fuck. Dog tattoos of my dogs. So,
oh wow, what sort are they?
Well, the one, he was just a mutt. He passed away last May.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. This and then this other one, he's a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel mixed with a Sheltie. And then we
yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, and then we
noisy thing.
Oh, he's pretty good actually. And then
Really?
we just adopted a 7-year-old Cavalier King Charles Spaniel about 2 months ago. So
nice. Yeah, there's quite
yeah.
a few of them up here. They fucking bark and they yappy fucking things.
She can be.
Yeah. So anyway, getting back to I hadn't posted and all these messages were coming in. So I was down at the park and I thought, righto, I've just got to fucking put this out there. So that's when I was just walking around the lake well, it's not a lake, it's just a little fucking dam here at the park. And yeah, I just shared that message to say that I'd been fucking broken and I thought I was tough and I wasn't. And I've reached out for help. I knew fucking straight away that I'd never been in this space before. I thought, I've got to fucking see someone about this. This is not right. So yeah, made appointments on that Tuesday and I had a the first doctor appointment just after I made that TikTok, and they sort of put me on a mental health plan, and because we've got over here in Australia this work safe, so it's if you've got a workplace injury or something, they take over and fucking pay all your bills and your wages until you get your shit together. So, oh my God, what a fucking I've been interviewed by, what was he? He was a psychiatrist, and that went for 2 hours on a Zoom meeting. He fucking pulled me apart all the way from like yesterday, all the way back to when I was born to see if I had any fucking learning disabilities or family situation. I've never been poked or probed like that before. It was quite draining. And then I had another interview on what's today? Today's Thursday, so I think it was Tuesday. It was a couple of days ago. So then I had another fucking phone call from some forensic investigator. He's not a medical person, but they have to sort of find out what went on at work, and they do all these reports to see if workplace or WorkSafe, whatever it is, accept your claim. And he was saying he'd watched all my TikToks, and he was saying that mine is quite a unique case because I have such a social media presence, and he just said a lot of WorkSafe bullying and harassment is like people sort of say that, I want to have every Wednesday off, and the boss will say no, so then they put in a claim for fucking harassment. But he said yours is just quite a public claim, and anyway, so that's for all them to fucking deal with. I get out of bed each morning and go for a walk with my little dog and post off my merchandise and share all my fucking ups and downs. I thought I had to share all my down times with my happy, silly fucking TikToks that I do all the time. And it's probably the best thing I've done. It's so here we are at the fucking park talking to Saskatchewan. Is that how you say it, Canada?
Saskatchewan.
Oh, sorry. Wash my mouth with soap.
Well, you did a lot better than a lot of people. You did better than most Americans.
Oh, God. Anyway, that's another story, those people.
So do you mind me asking a little more detail of what kind of harassment was there? Was it because of your teeth or because you're gay or because of...
Well, yeah, there was when I started to get the teeth out and I started to lose weight, I'm not a big bloke. I was always sort of little anyway, but I couldn't eat properly, and I had 13 teeth removed over probably a 8-week period. So there was a lot of healing. So I had like 4 teeth out at a time, 4, 5, and then 4 teeth out in each session. So I was, and I had that done in the fucking chair too. Like I had anaesthetic, but I didn't go to hospital. A lot of people just go and get them all out at once. And then I was told that I looked like a fucking meth addict or a meth head, a fucking druggie, and with the sores that I had on my legs from the infection. Then I felt I had to justify my fucking medical condition to the people at work because you look like a fucking druggie. Is that what you're doing over there at your house? You fucking got a lab cooking up fucking meth and everything. And I just never taken drugs in my life. And there was, just stuff like, oh, for fuck's sake, what's one of those fucking sausage dogs? Go away.
Dachshund?
Yeah. You fuck off. I'm on the Zoom. Anyway.
I used to have one of those too.
Oh, yeah, there's a heap of them around Mansfield, those little Dachshunds, noisy little fucking sausage dogs rubbing their belly on the footpath.
Worst dog I ever had. Anyway.
Yeah. And then there was just stuff about gay. I was just the fucking token gay. Like, I didn't realise this until everything went fucking pear-shaped and I fell in a bit of a hole that and I don't know if I'm overthinking all of this, but it just felt like I was employed at the first place to tick all the boxes with this company that I work for, this wealthy family that, oh yeah, let's employ the token gay person. Aren't we good? Aren't we doing the right thing?
Diversity.
Yeah, I know. And it just, look, it's never fucking bothered me in the past, but you know what? Now this has all happened. It's, so there was just not, like I wasn't, look, in the past, there was a guy that worked there. He's not there anymore. He's fucking left. And he was a friend of the owner. And he got employed as a mechanic. And he was nothing but a fucking homophobic thug. He shirt-fronted me in the lunchroom one day, called me a faggot in front of other employees. I put a complaint in. And then the boss basically said to me, oh, well, have a week off. I'll give you a week off paid and you just need to go away and we all need to work together here and you're just going to have to fucking deal with this, basically. It's like, for fuck's sake, there was no disciplinary action against him. He threatened me with violence, called me these fucking names. He was nothing but a fucking lazy cunt of a thing. And then a few years later, he was just like intimidating me. He wouldn't say anything. He knew to keep his fucking distance because I'd tell him to fuck off and all of that sort of stuff. But it just, like, he'd just look at me from the distance on the farm and just shake his head in disgust. And there was just little innuendo about, if ever I heard anything that so-and-so had touched up so-and-so, it wouldn't surprise me if it was you. And like just these little digs. And then when the boss was the one that actually blew up to me, he's about these TikToks. I've been doing these TikToks for fucking 6 months now, and all of a sudden, now that it's gone fucking viral, he basically ripped me to shreds in front of the other workers on the farm and said that I'm an embarrassment to the farm and I'm an embarrassment to him and his family and get your stuff and leave. And I thought, what the fuck's going on here? And then when I fell in a heap the second day, I thought, you know what, no one has to put up with this fucking shit that I've put up with for the last 10 years. I'm just fucking fell in a heap and got some help. And so that was sort of the harassment at work. And then it's just made me think and overthink about stuff that...
Or obsess about it?
Yeah, I just really overthinking it, I suppose, or just relating stupid little incidents that might have happened years ago I can't fucking remember sometimes what I did 10 minutes ago, and then I can remember like absolute clockwork, something that happened on the fucking 16th of December 7 years ago, or yeah, it's just the whole. I'd never fucking thought I'd have mental health issues. I never fucking did, in my wildest dreams, but here I am. So sharing my journey, all my fucking sad TikToks as well as my happy ones, and I can't believe the fucking support, Todd, from all these randoms.
Yeah. How's that going? Like, is it
encouraging
words? And
oh, yeah, absolutely. There's been 99.9% encouraging.
One dickhead?
Yeah, not even that. They're not dickheads, whereas they say things. It's more like, oh, you swear too much and I can save you. And it's like, oh, for fuck's sake, if you don't... Yeah, like if you don't like it, scroll the fuck on, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, what's going on there when they've got to have this, oh, you've got real bad mouth and the Lord can save you. It's not just the fucking Lord, but just...
it's their mission to save you.
No, I know.
So
well, they can fuck off. I've got other people that want to save me that swear like me. They're much more fun to be about, cunts.
Save you, actually save you.
Well,
save your mental health and say encouraging things. And
well, yeah, and then there's so many people like messages. I did another little. I didn't do a TikTok yesterday, but last night when I got home, I had a late doctor's appointment. I didn't get home till about 6:30. It's fucking dark and cold, and I lit the fire and had some dinner, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to fucking tell everyone what I've been through. Hopefully those forensic appointments, that's it. And then I had my psychologist, my medical, my GP. You know what a GP is? Is that what you call them over there?
General practitioner?
Oh, look how clever you are, cunts. So... so she put me on a mental health plan. So with Mansfield Psychology here. So I had my first Zoom meeting with Julia, and it was such a different meeting compared to those other two meetings I had by the insurance people and the WorkSafe people. They just fucking pulled me apart and wanted to find out this and wanted to find out that. And the professional psychologist, she was totally different. She just had empathy. She gave me words of advice. She identified certain things. She explained some things to me that this was a normal type of feelings to have or situation to go through. She expressed that even though like that tirade by the boss at work that Monday morning, it was only for not even 60 seconds, Todd. But it was amazing that 60 seconds erased the person that I was when I arrived to work that morning to when I got in my car and left 5 minutes later. That person's gone. And I'm not sad about that. I'm actually quite happy that I've left that person behind, because I fucking put up with all that shit I should never have had to, and just like absorbed it all like a sponge. Or does that make sense? Like, it's been 4 weeks now. Oh, for fuck's sake! Oh, look, it's on. There's the whippet. Hey, Versace, come here. Come here, whippet. She'll come over here. She's all right. She's just protecting me. But yeah, so I've just left that person behind now. And you know what? It's the fucking best thing that's happened to me. As traumatic as some of the shit I've had to go through, and with these interviews with the last couple of days with these fucking experts that almost seem to want to keep you in this space. They'd be fucked. They wouldn't have a fucking job if no one had mental health issues. And the way that some of them were speaking to me, it's almost they wanted to fucking keep you there. So anyway, yeah, I've moved on. I've left that person behind. I don't know what the future me's going to be like. It's certainly going to be a lot bigger and fucking better than the one that I've left behind. I'll give you the hot tip.
Are you on medication? Did they give you any meds or anything?
Look, I got a script yesterday. I've been given some. I've been having anxiety attacks. I didn't even know what they fucking were until they got explained to me by my psychologist. The fucking WorkSafe people didn't do any diagnosis, and they said they weren't here to diagnose me or anything. So yeah, I've been given some. I don't even know. I haven't even read what it is, but half a tablet a day. It's like an anti-anxiety medication. I'm on that for, I think, 2 weeks, and then that gets reassessed. So I haven't even gone to the pharmacy to pick them up. I'll do that after I finish having a chat with you. So, so no, I'm not on any medication at the moment, but I will be from this afternoon. Cunts?
Well, I've been on anti-anxiety and anti-depressing meds for over 10 years. So,
wow.
And it started, the first time I started and went and saw a doctor and got the prescription was because of toxic work group that I worked with kind of triggered it. So I can relate that toxic people at toxic coworkers and toxic employers. So I feel your pain.
Isn't it odd that we just tolerate it for so long until it just builds up into a just a
time bomb.
Yeah, festering boil that just explodes. And I said, fuck, what if we just I don't know, just identified it straight away, that sort of toxicity in the workplace, and just fucking moved on. What's going on in the world that we feel we have to stay there? I don't know what it is. Hello, Whippet. So anyway, I've moved on. I've got fucking time off work, and I've got pay coming in. I'm selling merchandise. I can't believe everyone's bought my fucking T-shirts and trucker caps. Todd, I'm sending them all over the world.
Wow. I'll have to check out your trucker caps. I'm a trucker cap kind of guy.
Are you? Well, have I got your email? Shoot me your email and an address or something, and I'll send you one over.
That'd be great.
I can do that.
Yeah. What's it say on it?
Hey, cunts.
Of course it does. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it does.
I actually Googled you before I sent you an email, because I was like, I want to talk to this guy, but so I Googled you, and then it was like, did you have some other kind of website or something? Because it was actually you when you had your teeth and you were like playing piano, and it was about whippets and stuff, and I was like, well, that's not the guy.
Yeah, that's me. I'm just going to move into the sun. It's fucking freezing here. So, well, here's another chair over here. I'll go over here. Oh, no, I won't. That's better that way. Yeah, look, I had a viral video on Facebook back in 2014 where the whippets ate my fucking bed. So that's up to on my Facebook page, that's like 4.5 million views. And here, Whippet, come here, darling. Here, we're over here.
How are you so good at fucking making viral videos?
Well, I don't know.
People just love you, man.
I fucking have a chat. Like, I talk a bit. Love a fucking chat. Yeah, and then, so when that went fucking all over the world. Within 24 hours, it was fucking crazy. Even the breakfast TV show Sunrise came up to Mansfield here and did a live cross with me, and the Whippets, and it was in the. Oh, we've got a local newspaper here owned by the fucking Murdoch people called the Herald Sun, and a lady up here, her sister is a journalist for the Herald Sun, and she was up here, and then she did a story of me, and then they came up a couple of days later and did a photo shoot, and I think it was on page 3 or 5 in the newspaper, but it was in every Murdoch, newspapers all over the world. So I started getting emails from ABC News in New York and Inside Edition in Chicago. It just went fucking crazy, Todd. I was doing interviews all over the place, and my Facebook page went crazy. And so that was back in 2014, and Yeah, and now this TikTok thing is just gone. A friend sent me. I don't even know how he did it, but he sent me a little screenshot of something on TikTok about top viral, and apparently I've had over 750 million views.
Come again?
750 million views.
That's
I know,
insane.
It's I can't even get my head around how long that
you're
number
just a
is.
lovable cunt.
I am, cunt.
You're just a lovable cunt, yeah.
I know, and they love it. And it's funny because when I first did it and I said cunts, it must be because I've got the lisp. I've got this gap in the bottom teeth. I've got no top teeth. They've all fucking gone. And I hit the captions. I was following this lady. She said, oh, yeah, you've got to put captions on your videos. So I did. And then it came up. It spelt the word C-U-N-C-E instead of C-U-N-T-S. And I thought, well, that's a bit interesting. And I just kept that. I thought, no, that can fucking stay like that all the time. And that's the spelling on my merchandise. I'm getting messages from people, oh God, all over the world. They're just saying that's just how we greet each other now, like our workmates. Even people are saying to me, and I'm getting bailed up in the street here for selfies and by all the locals and, oh, Fluffy, you're so famous. You're just amazing. You're a celebrity. And people are saying to me that even there was some friends up here, they got young kids. They're like 5 or 7 years old or something. And then every time they put them to bed at night, and the parents go, no, the kids go, no, cunts, love you. So even young kids are saying it now. I'm going to be in the fucking trouble.
Hello, everyone. Just a quick break here. I hope you're enjoying the episode. I want to tell you about a really great podcast called A Sober Story Podcast by my friend Emily. She is charming, she is witty, she's clever, and she's just a great host for a podcast. And not to mention, she was also a guest on this very podcast a few weeks back. As someone who's 6 years sober himself, I can tell you everybody's got an interesting story about how they got sober and an interesting story about what they were like when they weren't sober. So I'm begging you to please listen to A Sober Story Podcast by Emily. Another great podcast is Rainy Days Podcast by my friend Jason, who was also a guest on this podcast a little while back. Jason speaks with all types of people dealing with mental health issues, professionals, loved ones. It's basically a lot like this podcast, only it's done with a fancy British sounding guy because he's a fancy British guy. So that's cool. Hey, you should listen to that Rainy Days Podcast. So listen to those, rate and review them, and find them anywhere podcasts are available. Oh man, that's amazing.
So yeah,
I'm just for being yourself.
Yeah, and you know what? Well, hello, Whip. Here she is.
But yet the people you work with are assholes, but the rest of the world loves you.
Yeah, I'm fucking done with them. Like, it's the best thing that's ever fucking happened, really, in hindsight. So, yeah, and just by sharing my sad old fucking face and when I have a breakdown, the one thing the forensic fucking investigator said, the first thing he said, I've watched all your TikToks, Fluff, and he said, you actually come across as one of the most authentic people on social media, TikTok platform or any of those platforms, because you're not sugarcoating anything. It's you say what it is, and
you're not lip syncing and dancing.
Oh, I know I can't fucking do any of that. And just by sharing that, look, there's been so many people that said, oh my God, Fluff, you've just helped so many people all over the world. You've actually saved lives, which is quite humbling, really. People have sent me messages to say that I've been going through this for 5-10 years and I've just had my first doctor's appointment and it's all because of you. And so,
Jeez.
yeah. And I just think if I can help, one person going to get help, or if I can stop one person from self-harming,
Mhm.
Well, yeah, my job's done. I haven't seen anyone else on this platform with a similar message.
Mhm.
I'm sure there are, but the fucking algorithm doesn't bring it up on my page.
Right. Yeah.
So, and then you fucking sent me a message from Saskatchewan in Canada.
Well done.
Yeah, on your little
Yeah.
bunny hugs and mental health podcast. I don't even listen to podcasts. I was listening to one this morning. I'll just get a bit of an idea what this fucking bloke's all about, cunt. So
Which one did you listen to?
I listened to the lady from California about grey area drinking.
Oh yeah.
I can't think of them.
Emily,
yeah, and it was just it was quite confronting hearing her life of privilege and pleasure. It doesn't matter what socio-economic demographic you come from, you can still fucking fall into this mental health, depression, addiction.
Yep.
There's no boundaries.
No, that's right. It doesn't discriminate.
No, exactly. That's it. That's what I was trying to say. So I'm just there putting out my message, my happy time. I explained to everyone last night in last night's TikTok, that's over 70,000 people already, and or 70,000 views, and it's only been up for 12 hours.
Lord.
I know. Yeah, it just happened. Look, I was trying probably too hard before it all went viral, and then I don't even try at all. Like, people say you're just so humorous and likable, and it's like, I don't even fucking try. What am I going to? Well, one of my mates said to me, how do you come up with like content or what to talk about? Or and it's like, well, God, I only have to scroll through 5 minutes of messages, and there's enough content there for 6 months.
Isn't that the truth?
Yeah, I know. You don't even have to try. They're just simple little things. I'm just down at the park with my little dog, or people want me to.
Is that a bird I keep hearing?
Yeah, that's a magpie. It's having a little. Let me see if I can find it. Where are you?
Our magpies sound very different here.
Oh, there they are. They're up in the tree. Can you see them?
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're just having a little chat. Yeah, do you know there was there was something done on birds in Australia, and it came up with the magpie was the number one most social bird, apparently, with its conversation, because birds just normally have a basic fucking chirp or tweet, but these things actually strike up a conversation with each other.
Huh.
Anyway, bit of magpie talk for you there, Todd.
I'm now a magpie podcast.
You are.
That the one you shared, the one TikTok you made of when you were talking about your breakdown, like I saw that the first night I started following you, and so I've been watching closely, sort of closely. I'm only going TikTok once in a while, but you're like, what's the guy that you talk to? Anyway, he was right. It's very sincere. It was like it's very, very rare that you see someone be so vulnerable and real in their videos. Like, it was just like my heart was breaking. I was like, oh my God, this guy. Because I've gone through my own issues and stuff, I thought, I'm gonna start following this guy.
Yeah. And look, as I said earlier, if I can help one person that, this whole fucking man bravado thing, I'm as tough as guts. No, I'm all right. I'm not going to cry. Or you weak little poofter or any of that. It doesn't matter. Like, I can't believe the statistics. I don't know what they are worldwide, but just in this country alone, here in Australia, the statistics of suicide amongst men is just it's something like 70%, 77%. And then it goes into all the different age brackets. And I'm just horrified by the youth suicide rate. And this fucking TikTok platform is like a young person's, well, it started out as a little fucking dancing sing-song app. Now it's got a fucking 53-year-old hashtag gay farmer that's gone fucking viral. And I'm getting messages from parents saying about their 12, 13-year-old kids are struggling at school, and I've done some little messages, like a short little minute video that I've said hello to young fucking Jamie or Stacey or Ryan, whoever it is, and just sent it to the parents, and then they've shown their kid, and the kids come out just like, oh my God, it's just, he's talking to me. And then the parents have messaged back a few days later to say that our kid's a different person in just by you sending that message to say, keep your chin up, buddy, you'll be right. Just stay at school, keep learning. I do encourage all these young kids to fucking pick up a pencil and learn some penmanship. I can't believe the fucking handwriting of the young people today is fucked.
Well, they hardly write anything. It's all typing.
I can't believe they don't.
Or this.
Yeah. The fucking thumb. Oh, where was I the other day? I was in the doctor's waiting room, and there was a young guy there, like maybe 20-something, mid-20s. And he had his sound on, and I couldn't believe how quick he was sending a message to someone. It was just fucking hell. How can they type so quick?
With their thumbs.
Well, I know. So I just do what I can and just be me. I don't fucking sugarcoat anything. One of the kids, one of the grown adults that works at work, who's the son. Oh, he's got his fucking ear things in his ear every fucking day, listening to podcasts, and you can't get his attention. Oh, I'm listening to a podcast. It's like, I like to listen to nature, like it's fantastic up here in the country. I live in, so Mansfield's about greater population's probably 8 to 10,000 in the surrounding areas, but the little town itself is, there's only a little main street with maybe 20 or 30 shops, like a little high street, half a dozen cafes. There's no big name stores here, like there's no big box stores. There's just one hardware shop. It's just a really, it's off the beaten track. Like you have to actually need to come here. You don't sort of go through, well, Mount Buller, there's a snow mountain up the road. It's middle of winter at the moment, and there's a ski resort. That's fucking packed up there. So there's buses come through every town with people from Melbourne and everything. But it's just a great little town. It's everyone says hello and they wave, and the people serving you at the supermarket. And then when I go to a couple of big regional towns nearby here, like maybe an hour, 2 hour away, no one fucking looks at you or acknowledges you or says hello or anything. Go to Kmart store or whatever, and no one fucking. It's just, I think that's really sad that people don't, wave.
The town I live in is called Indian Head, and it's in the province of Saskatchewan. And we have maybe 2,000 people here.
Oh, wow.
In the middle of the prairies. So yeah, everybody knows everybody. And it's, in some ways it's annoying. In other ways it's amazing, because if something happens to your family or you're under, you have health issues or whatever, people will like come up to you on the street, and like you said, you go to the grocery store and, hey, how's your dad doing? How are you?
I know. Yeah, absolutely. Nice. Yeah. And I like that. That's real community. Like, I don't give any money to big charities, for instance. I do all my local donations to the local, we've got a hospice here, a new hospice, so I volunteer there, or I volunteer at the local church, the St. John's Anglican Church. I don't go to church on a regular basis. Fuck, lightning would strike the building if I walked inside it. But they have a once a year annual like garden fete where they have a plant sale, so I sort of help there, and every second Tuesday, they've started doing this thing. It's called the Mansfield Fresh Food Drive, and it's basically everyone who's got excess vegetables in their garden. when it's tomato season, you've always got fucking 400 of them. You only need one for your sandwich or zucchinis, for instance. So any excess vegetables go there, and it's now turned into a big community event. It used to just be for, I suppose, disadvantaged local people. It all started with kids were going to school starving hungry with no lunch, and they couldn't learn.
So they got a zucchini.
Well, what they did, they've built this. They fucking did. They got more than one zucchini. They got a heap of vegetables. So what they would do one day a week, all these excess vegetables, they'd go into the commercial kitchen there and they'd teach the kids how to make, I don't know, like spaghetti bolognese or something. And they would feed them in the morning, like at morning time, they'd have a big feed so that they could actually learn something. Because apparently one of the on an empty stomach, apparently kids can't learn. So it just all started with that, and that's all like related to mental health and like diet and everything.
Socioeconomics is huge with mental health. Like poor, impoverished, and people have much harder time. But again, it doesn't discriminate. But rich people can, pay for treatment and psychiatrists and psychologists and
absolutely. Well, even getting into, what was the 20th of June was when I had my issue, and then my first appointment was the 18th. So it took me 4 weeks to get into a psychologist, and that was through a Zoom meeting. They're based in Melbourne, but the ladies used to live up here at Mansfield, and everything's by telehealth. They call it here now. Everything's like by Zoom meetings, a lot of these appointments. And I'm getting messages. I just had a message from somewhere in central New South Wales. So that's Sydney. So inland from Sydney, about 4 hours. And he can't even get an appointment with psychiatrist. And here he is asking me. It's like, well, fuck, my GP just put a mental health plan together with Mansfield Psychology. But people can't even get into these professional people. I don't know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Is it COVID?
That's worldwide. That's worldwide. Yeah. Here in Saskatchewan, I've heard there's people having 2-year waits to see a psychiatrist.
Wow. So I've got a meeting every Monday for the next 6 weeks. I must be lucky.
Lucky cunt.
Yeah, fucking TikTok famous. That's what fucking happens. And then with this COVID fucking carry on that's changed the world as we know it. I don't know what the answer is, Todd. I'm just out there sharing it, just saying it's okay to be not okay, and hopefully if I can help one fucking person from self-harming, or as I said earlier, well, my job's fucking done.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any temptations or self-harming when?
No, I never have. I had a night. I've had quite a few nightmares over the last 4 weeks, but I did have one where I and I'll share it with you because I've never had this before. So trigger warning for anyone, I suppose. I was at one of those multi-level shopping centres, when there's fucking balconies 4 or 5 stories tall that look over a central food court. I actually stepped off the balcony and I was swimming through the air like when you're in water, like we call it breaststroke here. And then I could sort of swim back to the edge of the balcony, and then I'd just launch off again and come back. And I woke up in maybe shock or trauma, which my psychologist said that's exactly what I'm going through at the moment. You've had a massive traumatic event, believe it or not, even though physically you haven't got any injuries. But mentally, your brain has actually gone through. I was forgetting things, cloudy head. She said, yeah, that's all part of a traumatic event. And I told her about this event, this dream that I had, that I was actually quite concerned maybe the next time I went to one of these multi-story, multi-level shopping centres, and maybe one day I might not be able to differentiate between reality and dream state or whatever, and that I actually stepped off the balcony. So that's probably the only, well, it is, I know it's the only, I suppose, self-harm. Not that I don't want to fucking step off a balcony or do any of that sort of stuff. But yeah, it was quite confronting that my brain was creating that type of feeling that it was okay to step off a balcony, and if you did, you could just swim your way back. Well, I know that's not going to fucking happen with gravity.
Oh, you have gravity in Australia?
We do. We're at the fucking bottom end, so
it's extra strong.
I know. So yeah. So no, I haven't had any self-harm. I've certainly spoken to people since this. I got in contact. There was a bloke in Scotland that reached out to me and sent a message, or he just actually said, "Oh, can you follow me back? I'm having a few issues." So I just gave him a follow back, and then he sent me a message, and then he said, "Oh, would you mind having a chat?" And anyway, we finally worked out he was in Scotland, and I finally worked out how to call him, and we've actually spoken quite a few times now. And he had a traumatic event where he found his mum passed away overnight, and he discovered her the next morning, and about 3 years ago. And he's had all sorts of fucking self-harm issues and everything. And anyway, I called him, and we've had a chat a couple of times, and I've sent him some merchandise, and I gave him a little shout out. And he's a different person now. He said, I can never unsee my mum when he found her in the morning. But he actually feels now that, he said, you're the only sort of famous person, or TikTok famous, or you see all these people out there that are, oh yeah, I'm here to help, and they don't do anything. He said, you've replied to my messages, you've taken my call on WhatsApp or Snapchat. He said, you've actually fucking changed my life for the better, Fluff. You've got no idea how much. Even all his mates can't believe that. How the fuck do you know that Hey Cunts guy is fucking talking about you of being a silage contractor? And he said, oh yeah, he's my new mate. Yeah, just a simple little.
That's amazing of you. Like when you were talking earlier, how you were making videos for people's kids and stuff. Like, I know you're just you're just a guy living in Australia, right? But to other people, you're like this, you're on this pedestal. And so
I know
it's amazing that you're doing that, and you're like legitimately pulling him out of a dark place, for even if it's temporary. Just, yeah.
Yeah. Look, I know. And it was, I meet with a couple of good mates every Saturday morning, and we have coffee and we do the crossword together. It's the only way we can fucking finish it. We can't do it on our own. We're that fucking stupid. So three of us, we sort of nut out the crossword and sort of just talk shit for a couple of hours. And Mick was always reading this book at the moment, and I've just bought it. I haven't started yet. It's called Stolen Focus. And it's about the bloke. Well, it's about the internet and how the internet and the algorithms and everything draw you in. And this bloke invented the never-ending screen, the scroll. And he said the whole idea of the internet is to, I don't know, suck you in, I suppose, to steal your focus from reality and just fucking draw you in to that whole internet thing. And anyway, they were watching my success, and he basically said, Fluff, he said, you've actually got a huge responsibility now. He said, they were reading some of the comments, like some of the comments are, and it's not just one or two, Todd, there's fucking hundreds of them that say, oh, you're the reason I get out of bed, Fluff, you're just the best thing, it's my life's not worth living, I don't know what I'd do without you. I find that quite humbling. I found it quite, before I ended up in this fucking shitty space that I am at the moment, I almost found it a bit sad that people had to express their feelings to just a fucking stranger from Australia on TikTok, that they didn't know if I was real or a character or if it was a script. Yeah, and Mick just said, he said, Fluff, you've got a huge responsibility here that you probably didn't realise was going to happen. But yeah, and I'd certainly recognise that to fucking no end. I can't stop this anymore. I can't just look what happened when I went missing for 2 days. There was hundreds and hundreds of messages.
Yeah.
So I don't know where this is going to end up. I really don't. I just have to, I don't know, just keep it real and not change anything.
A word of advice?
Yeah, do, please.
I wrote a letter. This is maybe 7 years ago, and it went viral on the internet and like tens of thousands of shares. It was about basically me coming out of the closet about my mental health issues, because I've attempted suicide, and for years I've been on meds and stuff. And anyway, I wrote this letter and it went viral, and I realized I had a responsibility too, and that's kind of when I started my advocating and stuff. But I was also putting so much pressure on myself, and I was letting other people put so much pressure on myself that I wasn't taking care of myself. You know what I mean? It was like, I
do.
I felt like I had this responsibility and I gotta go. And I actually kind of made myself sick again. So that's awesome that you're doing that, and that it's working out for you, but just be careful and make sure you take care of yourself too. And
yeah, absolutely. Like this whole situation that's happened and that I'm in, I'm actually I'm like downsizing, I'm decluttering, I'm just going through all the shit that I've accumulated over the years. And yeah, so it's a real cleansing time. I'm thinking about buying myself a fucking caravan and going on a big fucking never-ending road trip. Now, 3 months ago, if I'd said that, I would have thought I was fucking mad. But I've been doing a little bit of travelling around on just to get out of the house with my dogs. I've had a few sort of little road trips to the Big Strawberry and up the Murray River, on the mighty Murray River on the border of New South Wales, just getting out and about. And I think that's one of the best things. Someone said to me when all this fucking went pear-shaped, they said, just keep eating and keep exercising. I don't do fucking running or any of that sort of shit, and I don't play sport, but just getting out for a walk in the park for a few hours. I'm out of the house every day. I make sure I'm out of the house every day. So,
and you're talking to professionals.
Yeah, and I'm certainly am aware of, well, one, the responsibility I've got on this fucking platform, but also I've also got a responsibility to take care of myself. I'm no good to anyone if I'm in a fucking mess. So, yeah, and do you know what? I'm a bit of a realist. So many people think life is just all about fucking rainbows and unicorns, and they just live in this sugar-coated, everything's fine. Well, it's fucking not. There's shit going on in the world everywhere. So I'm a bit of a realist. I know that I'm no good to fucking anyone if I don't eat properly or take care of myself. So I am getting out and about.
And you're helping people. You're making personalized videos. You're actually phoning fans. Like, that's amazing. I was surprised. I sent you an email asking if you'd be on the podcast. It was like within 10 minutes you responded. It was like, I was like, holy fuck, this guy responded so quick. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, a lot of people have said that, and I think that's another thing, keeping busy. I don't know what space I'd be in if I didn't have all this stuff to do. I just couldn't imagine just sitting at home in front of the fire on a fucking couch, binge watching TV. I don't even have a TV. I haven't had a TV for over 12 years. I don't watch television, all that fucking reality bullshit on TV that's not reality. It's all edited and sort of structured to... Everyone's just... When reality TV first started, how many years ago? Big Brother was here. I reckon it was 25 years ago. It was fun. Like, people had fun, and I can remember some of the characters. Now it's all about getting fucked over. How can I fuck them over? I'm going to fuck them over bigger than so-and-so fucked over them, and winning. And I saw that evolve, and 12 years ago when I moved into the house, the big old farmhouse I'm in at the moment, my old TV, I had to get like a set-top box and everything. I thought, you know what, I don't need to fucking watch this anymore. And when I was up at a friend's house a couple of weeks ago, we watched the news. The news come on at 6:30 at night whilst we were having dinner, and it was just all bad news. It was fucking floods up north in New South Wales. People were drowning. People's homes had been flooded 4 times. There was a fucking mass shooting again in America. There was some mass shooting over in Denmark. It was like, oh, for fuck's sake, I haven't seen this sort of negativity for over 12 years. I read the newspapers. I read the news on the internet every day. I'm not sort of locked myself up, but fuck, all this TV stuff I think is not doing the world a good for so many people out there. Anyway,
it's all about fear,
isn't it? Yeah. That's what the psychologist said. She said there's just so much fear out there, like on the internet, in the media, in the press. I don't know, governments with their mandates, and I don't know what situation you had over there in Canada here, but
we didn't have COVID here.
No. Oh my God, the way that this. I was lucky. I was in agriculture, so I was none of the I suppose lock at home, self-isolate things mattered to me. I could travel to work. Could travel between the farms because I was in agriculture, and that was essential. But fuck, some people down in the city in Melbourne, they were locked up for like 8 months. I can't comprehend. I used to live in Melbourne like years and years ago. I can't imagine having to lock down in the little apartment that I lived in. You weren't allowed to fucking go. Well, you could go out for, I think, an hour a day. You're allowed to go out for 60 minutes of exercise, no more than 5 kilometres from your home. There was just all these fucking rules and rules. That's had a huge mental health impact on people. I think just by being fucking locked up, and they could
absolutely.
Is that what it is? Like they could overthink or binge watch TV or fucking PlayStation. Yeah, I don't know what.
I think so. Yeah, partly that, and partly just unknown of when the fuck this COVID thing's going to go away, and just the fear of it all, and yeah, just uncertainty and just being stuck.
Oh my God! I used to be a policeman in Melbourne. I was a policeman for 7.
Jesus Christ, you got an interesting life, man.
Yeah. I'm also a classical trained pianist. I ended up in the police force, a senior detective in the fingerprint and forensic bureau. So I'm a sort of a fingerprint expert. I could read fingerprints and would collect evidence and all of that. And I went through all of, well, I not went through, but I came across as a policeman, went to all sorts of crime scenes and suicides and murders, car accidents, house fires, like you name it. I've seen it.
Maybe you have PTSD too.
Well, maybe. But I've always talked about that. I can still see certain crime scenes and gunshot trauma and just what people have done to themselves physically. And do you know what? You can't unsee that.
Yeah.
Now, I've always spoken about it, and whether it's just with friends or colleagues or at a dinner party or at the pub. And so, well, I saw that. I can't run away from it. Maybe I do have some sort of PTSD. I actually haven't received any diagnosis of any of that sort of mental health type thing, if I've got PTSD or if I've got depression. I've certainly, anxiety at the moment. So hence I've got to go get started on these meds, because some of those anxiety attacks, like running into this person I used to work for and his family, they live in town or they live just out of town. I don't know what's going to happen when I run into them again.
Is that the owner himself?
Yeah, correct. And his family, and just I'm looking at every fucking car. I know all the cars. That farm's got about 8 or 9 vehicles, and I know them all. So every time I spot one, I fuck off to the other end of town, and I know that's got to stop. I know that's just fucking dumb, but that's a space I'm in at the moment. So hopefully these meds might help with that. Also with packing down all my stuff, I do a bit and then I don't know, go off tangent and go and do something else or go online. So I've got to sort of get my headspace in. That's why I need help. That's why I said to the GP yesterday that my psychologist suggested mentioning to you some anti-anxiety meds. I don't know what they are or what type they are. So, but anyway, yeah, well, I've signed up for Movember. That's a worldwide cause. So it's a mental health awareness thing worldwide. I just thought it was in Australia. But anyway, it's about growing a beard over November and then at the end fundraising and then shaving it off. So I'm up to about $900 already on my little Movember fundraising page, and we're doing a shave up in Mansfield here on the 31st of October at my local barber shop, and then at the end of November I'm going over to Benalla, which is a sort of the closest big regional town here, and there's a big space over there. We're going to have like 100 people for a ticketed event and get a few speakers up and go live on TikTok and just see if we can raise a little bit of mental health awareness and that it's okay to be not okay. And if you feel like you need a bit of help, well, fucking ask for it, cunts. But anyway, no, cunts, love you.
Thank you so much, my friend. It was so amazing getting to meet you, hearing your story, and as always, for being vulnerable and open. I appreciate it so much, and I guarantee you, if you're listening to this, you also appreciate that Fluffy told his story. He's a super interesting dude, as you heard, and he's got a really great sense of humor and very colorful language. And I wish him all the best. I just sent him a message the other day, and he's doing really great. He's seeing his therapist, and he's on his medication, and he's just living the best Fluffy life he can live. So right on, Fluffy. Keep working, keep spreading mental health messages, and just being a great guy. Don't forget to follow the podcast on Facebook at Bunny Hugs and Mental Health, on Instagram, Bunny Hugs Podcast, on TikTok, Bunny Hugs Podcast, and on Twitter, I think it's Bunny Hugs and Mental Health. Please feel free to leave any questions or comments and concerns on any of those platforms. Don't forget to listen to next week's episode with Michelle from New York City, who has schizophrenia. It's going to be a great episode, just like this one was. I mean, wasn't this fun? This is Todd Rennebaum saying, don't forget to make your beds and take your meds. Bye.